Okay, let's get right into it. What if you could pull all the incredible insights from your data without ever having to write a single frustrating line of SQL? Today, we're talking about a new kind of AI that's promising to do exactly that. It's taking on one of the most tedious, time-consuming tasks for literally anyone who works with data.
Oh man, you've been there, right? We've all been there. You're staring at a query, you know it's so close to being perfect, but one tiny little missing comma or a simple typo is bringing your entire workflow to a dead stop. It's just a universal frustration.
And it's so much more than just a small annoyance. It's a full-on headache. That endless loop of writing, testing, watching it fail, and then debugging, it doesn't just eat up your time, it totally shatters your focus and just stands there, right between you and the answers you're actually trying to find. But what if you could just skip that whole struggle? Just completely bypass it. Imagine just asking your database a question in plain English. The same way you'd ask a coworker for a report. Well, that's the exact promise of the AI tools we're looking at. This idea makes the whole thing feel so much more intuitive. The source material for this explainer puts it perfectly. It's not about memorizing complex commands anymore. It's about having a conversation. You get to focus on the question and you let the AI handle that tricky translation into code. And this right here, this is where the magic really happens. You ask a simple, direct business question. Something like, show me my top performers, and boom, it's instantly translated into the precise, structured SQL you need to get that answer. The AI just builds that bridge, which means you don't have to be a syntax expert to find what you're looking for. And the process itself, it could not be simpler. Seriously, it's 3 steps. First, you just describe what you're looking for in your own words. You don't even have to know the exact table names. Then you click Generate, and instantly you get a fully working SQL query. It just takes all the guesswork out of the equation. So what does this actually unlock for you? Well, all of a sudden you can analyze recent activity. You can pinpoint your top performing segments, you can spot trends over time, or whip up quick reports, all by just asking. No code required. Okay, so generating new queries is obviously a huge time saver. But what about all that code you've already written? The queries that you've been fighting with that just won't run? Well, it turns out the AI can handle that too. The source material has this fantastic analogy for it. Think of this tool as your own personal SQL proofreader that's on call 24/7. It's not just about spotting mistakes. It's like having an expert sitting right there with you, ready to perfect your work at a moment's notice. And just like the generator, the fixing process is super straightforward. You just paste in your messy, broken code, you click Fix, and then the AI does something pretty amazing. It doesn't just scan for syntax errors, it actually figures out what you were trying to do and gives you a clean, working version that does it. And it's not just looking for one type of mistake, it catches the whole spectrum. I mean, look at this. Simple typos make up a massive chunk of common errors, but it also finds those more complex problems, like missing clauses. It can even understand different SQL dialects and apply the right corrections automatically. It's pretty smart. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Isn't this just a crutch, a cheat code? But it's actually designed to be the complete opposite. This is not just about saving you time, it's about actively making you a better coder. And here's exactly how it does that. There's this feature called Explain SQL. So after the AI generates or fixes a query for you, it can then break down that code into a plain English explanation. It'll tell you what each part of the query does, and maybe most importantly, why it was built that way. And this is the real game changer here. You're not just getting a piece of working code, you're getting a direct look into best practices. You start to see how professional-grade queries are structured, which in turn helps you improve your own skills every single time you use it. You're learning on the job. So when you combine this power to generate, to fix, and to explain code, what you end up with is something much bigger than just a simple tool. You really have a new kind of data assistant, one that's about so much more than just the code itself. So let's just recap the big takeaways, right? First, you're going to work faster because you're cutting out all that wasted time on syntax. Second, you're democratizing data. Suddenly anyone on the team can get answers, not just the SQL experts. Third, you learn smarter by gaining insight into professional SQL with every single query. And finally, you ensure consistency by standardizing how your whole team talks to your data. So this all leaves us with one really big question to think about. When you're no longer bogged down by the how to write the query, how to fix it, you're finally free to focus 100% on the what and the why. So, if the AI handles all the syntax for you, what bigger, more ambitious questions will you finally have the time to ask your data?